Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very exciting video for you guys. At least it's exciting for me. Basically, I'm gonna share with you guys my bookish fan art collection. Now, I love fan art. Love it so much. I don't have the biggest collection or anything. It's really nothing to brag about, but I thought it would be fun to share it with you guys, not just for you guys, but also for my own posterity, so that in a year or so, if I want to record another one of these videos, I can see where I was at and where my collection was at the time. Now, I said very briefly before in another video, but I actually don't collect other like bookish merchandise. So, you know, like the stuff that usually comes in subscription boxes or that you'll see online, like bookish, you know, refrigerator magnets, bookish mugs, things like that. I don't collect any of that because I know I'm not going to use it. Versus fan art, I also don't display it, but I collect it. And before you come at me and you're like,
why do you bother collecting it then?
why do you guys collect anything? It's just because it brings me joy and it brings me happiness. I don't necessarily like to display them on my shelves because it doesn't really match my like aesthetic and stuff like that. But I do like to go through them, especially when I'm reading whatever book I have the fan art for and stuff like that. It just feels like such a great visual medium for being able to see what the characters look like, and especially when an artist depicts a certain scene and stuff like that. I don't know, I just love everything about it. One of the main places that I order my prints from is Redbubble because they have a standard sizing for all of their art prints and they're set at like a specific price and stuff like that. That's very reasonable to me. Okay, so without dallying too much more, I'm gonna get straight into it. I'm gonna try to tell you guys the name of the piece if, you know, the creator named it at all, the artists themselves, and I will be sure to link down below places where you guys can get them and stuff if you are curious at all. You'll find that I'll have several pieces by the same artist and stuff because there are some artists who like I just die for their artwork. Like their art style is like chef's kiss, absolute perfection. So I'm gonna go through them with you guys, and I have separated them by each like book series, and I don't have too many. I actually thought that I had more, but looking through them, I clearly have a few favorites that I just buy a lot of fan art for. So I'm gonna start with my Cruel Prince collection. I don't have too many prints from them because I did read this book series fairly recently, and sadly a lot of the fan art that I do love, the artists themselves don't actually sell the prints, or they're just not available anymore, which makes me so sad because the Cruel Prince series has some of the most beautiful fan art I have ever seen, but the vast majority of it is not available for sale anywhere. So yeah, that makes me a little bit sad, but I'll share with you guys what I do have. First one is this one here, and it's called The Royal Puppeteer by Monolime Art. And Monolime is one of my favorite artists of all time. Her art style is just spectacular. Like, I don't even know how to describe it, but the lines are so clean, it's very stylistic, and I'm a huge fan. The next one is this one here, and it's called The Rulers by Brielle Yasmin, another person who I have several art pieces from, and you guys will actually notice that this piece is significantly more vibrant than my usual other art pieces. A lot of them are, I guess, more toned down or like muted, which I guess is more my style in general. So yeah, this is definitely a really great one. I'm so happy to have. And then the last two are from one of my all-time favorite artists. Her name is Salome Totlaze. She also goes by like Morganagram, I think, on Instagram. I absolutely love her artwork. So this is Jude as the Judgment Tarot card and Cardan as the Hanging Man. Now, she hasn't specifically said that they are Jude and Cardan, but if you look on her Instagram, she doesn't dispute it when people say like, oh, this looks exactly like Jude and Cardan, or is this Jude and Cardan? She doesn't specifically outright say that it's not them, so I feel like they're at least inspired by them. But I think it's pretty clear when you look at the actual fan art that it's definitely them, especially because in Jude's one right here, there's a big black snake hanging on the tree next to her, which I don't know too much about tarot cards, and I don't know if that's like a regular thing for the Judgment Tarot card, but it definitely signifies Jude with the giant snake in the Cruel Prince series. So I absolutely love it. It's amazing. Now, I will say about these art prints, you'll notice that they are cut a little bit strange. Like, they weren't formatted correctly for postcards anyway. I'm sure they're probably better on like actual prints and stuff. But for the postcard, they are cut too short on the bottom and the top. So they cut off the writing. Like here you can barely see Judgment, and then on the Hanging Man you can't even see the writing at all. So it's not cut very well. These are all of my Cruel Prince prints, and I love them so much. I'm definitely looking forward to collecting more. Now, the next series is another series that I only read recently. I literally just read it this month. And so these are the only two prints that I have by them. I have this print of Hawk and Poppy. It's called Hawk and Poppy by Brielle Yasmin, and I've actually had my eye on this particular piece for a really long time. By the way, I should say I only buy fan art for books that I've actually read. I do have quite a few pieces of fan art bookmarked for books that I haven't read yet, but I don't want to buy them or anything ahead of time in case I don't like the book or I don't like the characters or whatever the situation. It's also like kind of being like a fake fan, you know, like when you wear like a band tee for a band that you don't listen to, like that kind of thing. So I knew that I was going to read this book series eventually, so I was really excited when I did read the books, and I love them so much. I was like jumping on that right away. Like the day after I finished Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, I literally was like, I'm ordering this shit right now. So absolutely love this. I think Poppy looks freaking stunning here. This is pretty much exactly how I picture her. Just like a beautiful little angel. Hawk, you can see a little bit of his like kind of golden amber eyes that I love, and I like that it's at night and all of that because that is very much their setting. And then this print I am super excited to show you guys because I think it's one of my all-time favorite prints. I really love this print because it's so badass and it encapsulates Poppy so perfectly. But it's this print right here. It's called The Maiden. It's the veil version, and it's by Loena. Basically, she created this version of Poppy as well as the version without the veil, but I felt like the look with the veil was like 50 times badder, and so I was just like,
gotta do that, gotta get that one.
Because I absolutely love Poppy. I think she is one of the strongest female characters I have ever seen. She is definitely someone who like, she can talk smack and back it up, and I absolutely respect the hell out of that. God, every time I look at it, I'm just like more in awe of like how truly amazing this print is. Like the minds of these artists, like what is it like to be so creative and like so amazing? Like I could never even imagine. Anyway, so that's all I have for the From Blood and Ash series. And the next print that I have is a standalone, and I really love this book. Well, it's not a book series actually. I was about to say book series because every other fan art piece that I have here is for a book series. This one is for a standalone book. That's how much I loved it. But it's from To Kill a Kingdom. We have Lyra and oh God, what's his name? I gotta look it up. Give me 1 second, I'm gonna look it up because I don't remember his name. Okay, sorry. So it's Lyra and Ellian. I think I've realized since starting reading recently, and especially fantasy books, that I have a thing for redheads, like especially strong redheads, as you can clearly tell with Poppy. Lyra is another strong, badass redhead, and she's a killer mermaid, and I love everything about that. So yes, Lyra is the main character in Alexandra Christo. Why can I never say Christo? Alexandra Christo's book, To Kill a Kingdom. And that is like, I think I've heard it's like a Little Mermaid retelling, but like dark. I don't know if that's true because technically she is a mermaid and Ellian is technically a prince. So, you know, I can see the connection there, but like Ariel has nothing on this story. I don't even want to compare the two and say it's a retelling because, you know, but this is my favorite part of the entire story. I was so excited when I saw somebody made a fan art piece about it. It's not titled, but it's by ARZ28, and they're another artist that I absolutely love. Just give me a moment to fangirl over this because I love this piece so much. I just realized that was all askew. I hope that didn't like piss you guys off because it was all like gross. Anyway, so the next few prints that I have are from my all-time favorite book, period, ever. You guys probably know what it is at this point if you have watched my last several videos. I cannot stop talking about it, but it's Crescent City by Sarah J Maas. Unfortunately, I haven't found like a ton of fan art that I absolutely love for this series. There is a lot of great fan art out there, but like, you know, I'm very picky about the kind that I really love. But anyway, we'll start from like the smallest one. So this one is another Redbubble print, and it's of Hunt Athalar, and it's called Orion, which is his middle name. Or is that his first name and Hunt is his middle name or his nickname? I can't remember. This is why I need to reread this book because I need to remember things like this. But basically Orion is one of his names, and it's by Bloody Dammit. Everything about this picture of Hunt just screams Hunt. Like he's in his full garb. He has his wings out and his like, you know, things. I think they're swords, I can't remember. This is truly the best fan art of Hunt that I have ever seen, and Hunt is my man, okay? I will root for him and Bryce until the day I die, so Anyway, moving on, the next piece that I have is actually one of the 2 pieces that I have from Imprint, but it's this piece by Alrune, and it's of Bryce Quinlan, obviously, the main character, my queen in Crescent City. I just realized she's also a redhead. That is so funny. She is yet another strong, badass redhead. I have never seen a more gorgeous art print of Bryce. I will say I feel like she's a little bit skinnier here than she is supposed to be in the books. She's definitely described as being curvy, but as we know, Sarah J. Maas's version of curvy is like not that curvy, but I still think that she's absolutely stunning. I love that like her hair looks like it's windswept and everything. I literally saw this piece right after I read Crescent City and I fell so in love with it. And now the last piece is a piece that I got from a Touch of Magic AU. They're an Etsy store that like commissions different artists and they do monthly drops for different prints and stuff. But basically it's Danica Fendir from Crescent City. She is a character that's not in the story for very long, but her imprint lasts on the book and our hearts forever. Like literally, she is stunning. This is the most hands down, most beautiful version of Danica I have ever seen. I love that she's wearing her leather jacket that she always wears. She is a werewolf and she is a boss queen. Look at this expression. Oh my god, like so cold, so ready to just tear you to pieces. And I'm like, yes queen, please do it to me right now. It's also by Alrune. I mean, oh my god, I love that she did the best friends. Like, my little soul is very happy with that. Next, I have my Six of Crows fan art, and I also don't have a ton of pieces by them. I will say this now, I have like a broken collection from them because even though there's a ton of options for Six of Crows fan art, like it's actually ridiculous. I think Six of Crows has some of the most like readily available fan art I have ever seen in all of the bookish community. I am very particular, as I've said, about the kind of fan art that I like to get. So for the first ones I'll show you, I have Kaz, Inej, and Jesper. And these are named after each of the characters. So Kaz Brecker, Inej Gaffa, and Jasper Fahey by Morwild Coco. And I am a huge fan of Morwild. Their style is just impeccable. It's like the kind of quality that like I could expect, like, you know, the collector's editions for the Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, they have the art cards in the back. Literally, I could see these in there. That's how insanely beautiful the quality is. Now, she did also do pieces for the other 3 characters, Nina, Wylan, and Matthias. But I actually didn't love the way that they looked, which I don't find that I'm ever able to find one artist that depicts every single character the way that I maybe am imagining them or in a way that I love. So as much as I love Morwild's style, I didn't like them enough to buy them, to be honest. And if I ever want to, they're still available online. I can always go back, but you know, it's not like I have preferences. Like I didn't buy the other ones because I didn't like the characters or anything like that. And then this print is the other print that I got from A Touch of Magic AU. This is Kaz and Inej in the famous bathroom scene. The scene that every single fan of Six of Crows dies over. Like, I don't think there's a single person who has read these books and can see this image and doesn't know exactly what happened and where it's from. I guess I follow canon when it comes to fan art as well. Like when I see fan art of like, you know, Kaz and Inej kissing or holding hands or hugging, it makes me a little bit uncomfortable because I know that these characters wouldn't do that, save for, you know, the one time that it happened in, you know, the books and stuff like that. But yeah, I appreciated this one because they were close and you can see the intense love and eye contact between the 2 of them. So this piece, oh, now I gotta look this one up too. Okay, so this piece is by Ritz Bits Faye. Yeah, so this is really great. If you guys are curious at all about, you know, these like premium pieces and stuff, I would definitely check out A Touch of Magic AU. I love that they do these monthly art drops. So yeah, those are all the prints that I have for Six of Crows. I one day hope to actually own a collection with all of the characters because I do enjoy all of them. Now, the final bookish fan art collection that I'm gonna share with you guys, it's the book series that I have the most fan art of, and I feel like it's not a surprise. It's actually my favorite book series of all time, and it is Throne of Glass. There's like 16 characters in there and I love every single one of them. Like, and by 16 characters, I don't just mean like there's like a bunch of side characters, like each one literally gets developed and we get their POV at different points like throughout the entire book series. Basically, in my mind, there are like 16 main characters. There's probably not even that many, I'm exaggerating. I think there's like 10 or something, but anyway, I love them so much, so I'm gonna go through them with you guys. So I'll show you guys them by the characters. The first one is this absolutely gorgeous print of Nehemia. It's titled Nehemia Yitger by Bloody Dammit. As I've said before, I'm a huge fan of their artwork. I feel like they just have this really gorgeous art style that makes the textures and everything look so amazing. I love Nehemia. I feel like my love for her has been renewed with reading Throne of Glass. If you guys don't know, I'm actually currently reading Throne of Glass again. I just finished it yesterday. I literally remember seeing this piece. I didn't even know who she was. I was just like, I need this art print. Like, she is stunning. She is beauty. She is grace. She is Miss United States. No, she's not. But anyway, I love Nehemia. She played a huge role in the beginning and she was a really good friend to Celaena. So, you know, gotta love that. So moving on, I have a character that I didn't expect to love. I don't think anybody expected to love her when she first came out, but it's Manon Blackbeak. She is the Witch Queen and I swear to God, she is the queen of my soul. This is called Manon and Abraxos. Abraxos is the name of her dragon, or wyvern, I guess is what you call them. They are pretty much dragons, but you know. And it's by Illic Art. This piece is just, holy crap. Like, this is exactly how I pictured Manon reading the books, with her like long white silver hair and, you know, her golden eyes and her long iron claws. And Abraxos, even though he is a little cuddly bear in the end, he looks obviously very fierce. He's a total badass. Like, seriously, sometimes I will just sit there and go through my art collection and I'm just like, how is everybody so talented? How did you capture exactly what was in my brain? I didn't even know what was in my brain, but you captured it. So yeah, that is literally how I pictured Manon. And then I have this piece here, which is more stylized, obviously, and this is called Manon Blackbeak TOG by Artemis Illustrations. And I really like their style as well. They have kind of a more, I mean, it's not cartoonish, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's softer in that way. Manon still looks like an absolute badass here. She looks absolutely stunning in this red cape and, you know, her little boobala joobalas are out and yeah, she's looking mighty fine. So that's all I have for Manon. And then the next prints I have are of Aelin. So this is also by Artemis Illustrations, and Aelin is truly one of my favorite characters of all time. I love her so much. That poor woman has gone through hell and back, and yet she manages to remain one of the strongest characters I have ever seen. But I will say, for the fan art that I've seen of her, a lot of it isn't my favorite. I don't know why. I think it's because each person really pictures Aelin completely differently. Maybe it's because she's just like a white girl with blonde hair and like green eyes. I don't know, but that's why I have a hard time picking Aelin fan art, because each person draws her so differently that it's kind of like jarring, and I'm like, I don't really know which one I relate to. But I did think that this version of her was absolutely stunning. It's called Aelin Galathynius TOG, and yeah, she looks absolutely gorgeous here, and Aelin is an absolute gorgeous queen. The next piece is definitely, it's like a complete 180 from the last one I showed you. This one is by Bloody Dammit. It's called Fireheart, and it's just Aelin in all of her glory. I find that a lot of people seem to like showing Aelin with the shorter hair, which I don't remember her having it in the books for very long. Like, it was a pretty short period of time that she had the short hair from what I recall. I like that it's in black and white because it kind of enhances, you know, the strength behind it. And this pose, this is a true power pose. She's really ready to go. She's like, I'm gonna pull this out and I'm gonna kill everybody on sight. And I'm like, yes, do it, queen, do it. So yeah, absolutely love this one. Next, I have my beloved Fae King. I love him so much. And it's obviously Rowan. So this is called Rowan Whitethorn Throne of Glass by Yuhime Barbara. I feel like it's a general consensus among Throne of Glass fans, and specifically Rowan fans, that short-haired Rowan is the best Rowan. I mean, obviously he looks good with long hair too, I'm sure, but like, I feel like 80% of the fan art that I see of him Literally, it's him with short hair, which he only had for I think like a book or a book and a half or something. But like we were all grasping at that short hair look. Like literally, I was thriving when I read that he cut his hair short and all of that. And I was just like, that's my man. Look at this god with his short hair. He looks so fine. And obviously he has his classic tattoos. I don't have words for how much I love this. So yes. Next I have this piece. It's of Aelin and Rowan. And this one's called RXA01 by ARZ28. I love that Aelin is here with her little power glowing in her hands, and then you see Rowan just glaring behind her, like ready to protect her, ready to fight to the death for her, because truly that is Rowan's like entire being and his personality. So, you know, I don't have a problem with that because that's what, you know, fae dudes are there for, right? Is to protect their chicks. Lorcan, oh, definitely, that's his whole existence. Anyway, so that is all of the little Redbubble prints that I have of the Throne of Glass characters. And then I have this piece. This was done by Alrune. This is the other art print that I got from Imprint, and I fell in love with this the moment that I saw it. It's of Lysandra, and I don't know if there's a name for it, but this is just stunning. I've never really pictured what Lysandra looked like. I always just knew that she was like a really pretty brunette, but truly, like, if this is what she looked like, I now understand why she was like the top courtesan in like all of Rifthold, and why Aedion just like lost his shit and just, you know, fell in love with her. I don't know. I don't have words for how truly beautiful this art print is. Now, this last art piece is a piece that I literally just opened just before recording this video. It is one of the most beautiful pieces of art I have ever seen. And you'll notice it's significantly bigger than the rest of my art pieces, because when I saw this piece online, I knew that there is no way that I could get it on a postcard size, because truly, like, look at the size difference. This piece had so much detail, and I wanted to see that detail clearly, and I knew that there was no way that I could just get it in like a super tiny, you know, like 4x6 print or something. So I ended up getting like the next size up, which no regrets, because looking at this and beholding it, it is a true masterpiece. So it's the cadre from Throne of Glass. So we have each of the 6 members, and obviously their animal forms, except for Lorcan, who is just shadows and darkness. Like, we will never really know what Lorcan is or where he came from or anything like that. There he is, tucked away in the corner, because of course he is giving everyone mad side eye because he's probably mad about something. Now, I am only just starting my reread of this series, so I'm a little bit embarrassed to say I don't remember every single one of the characters and their names. So we have white-haired Rowan here, looking fine as hell with his tattoos. We have, I think this is Fenris. And then on the opposite side, we have his brother. What was his brother's name? I don't know, but that dude was annoying. And then we have Gavriel here next to Rowan, looking also fine as hell. And then I'm pretty sure this is Vaughn, like the character who gets mentioned in the story a handful of times, but no one knows where the hell he is. He's either dead or he's like a fictional character that they're all just making up. It's like, he truly never comes into the story. And I also love that Aelin just names them the cadre, and that's what they're known as from then on, because what else are you gonna call them? Like a gang, a group, a posse? No, you gotta give them something strong and powerful like the characters they are. You gotta give them the cadre. See, this is one of those rare times where like I actually do want to display this piece because it is so beautiful, but again, it's not really my thing, so we'll see where I end up putting it. Okay guys, so I was initially worried that I wasn't gonna have enough stuff to talk about with these prints, that this was gonna be like a 6-minute video or something like that. Now, seeing how long I've been recording, I have the opposite concern. Now I'm worried that I have too much footage, because I didn't realize until I was going through them how much I would really rant and rave about every single one of these art pieces. I mean, obviously if I'm buying them, I love them. I have the biggest love and respect for artists who do fan art, because I am so in love with the books that I read, and I fall so deeply in love with the characters in them. It's such a blessing to be able to see, you know, these characters come to life, whether it's just, you know, on my phone because I can't buy it anywhere else, or, you know, actually being able to purchase them. I just have so much love and appreciation for all of that. I will for sure link everybody down below so you guys can check them out, because all of these people deserve love, honestly. They're just like insane. So yeah, though that was my collection. I don't actually know even how many pieces I have all together, but I'm pretty happy with what I have. Let me know if any of you guys are fans of these book series and these characters. If you see fan art that you like or that you have, that would actually be really cool. I would love to become fan art buddies. So yes, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time, hopefully. Bye.